Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the prayer. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use it in our directives for the common good, for thy honor and glory. Amen. Call to order, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Present.
Mrs. Uhas,
Present.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Here.
Mrs. Mara,
Here.
Mr. Conrad,
Present.
Mr. Thompson.
Present.
Okay, moving on, public comment. Anyone wishing to speak? Please,
Thank you.
please state your name and address.
Brent Gardner, 7 Napowan.
Okay.
In late November, longtime resident George Transky rented a stump grinder for his own personal use. He had it for the whole weekend. And after finishing his own project on Friday, he reached out to volunteer the equipment and his time and expertise to grind stumps on the village medians in the islands, stumps that had already been marked for removal. After receiving approval from the mayor, George ground 10 stumps over the course of that weekend with the assistance from Steve Brosco and myself. George's community spirit saved Timberlake, I believe, hundreds of dollars. I'm just grateful to George, and in a bigger scope, thankful and appreciate all the people in the village who volunteer their time and their efforts. Examples this past holiday season with all the decorations and everything around the village. That only happens with people volunteering and helping out. I just wanted to appreciate that. It's what makes Timberlake such a special place to live in. It's great.
Agreed. Thank you.
Yes.
And for Mr. Kransky.
Well, we want to make a special thank you to George Transky. He's always there. Even when we had a storm, the last big storm we had these huge trees down in the road, and he was out there with his chainsaw working with our guys, just trying to get the road opened up for emergency vehicles. So he's definitely, he's always been like that, the whole family, George and Greg and so forth. And that's the way the family was. I know the growing up, his father did a lot for the neighborhood, the community, and also the mother, and they just kept it all together. So just special grateful thanks to him. So anyone else for public comment? Okay, seeing none. Next, reading this, or let me just move on. Let me just talk also about, we're getting a lot of snow lately. Just want to make sure that the residents know that don't park on the roads when we are getting snow, so that when we're coming through with the plow, we can basically clear the roads and keep them open. So just want to keep that open. And then also, if there's any special parking that anyone needs, make sure they contact our police department and coordinate that with them, so that, at least we can make sure that, everyone is safe. And then the main thing is just staying off the road enough to keep emergency vehicles open, especially in this time. You never know what happens. Today, we had a water main break on 11 Napowan. So we were able to get out there and get the crew out there right away, but still, we need emergency vehicles to be able to get in and out of the village. So we make sure we don't block it off. And that's all I have for that. Moving on to the reading and disposition of the minutes. Regular council meeting minutes of December 16, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Mr. Joyce makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Meyer seconds. Discussion, errors, corrections on them? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas, Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve organizational meeting minutes of January 1st, 2026, please?
Make a motion.
Mrs. Meyer makes a motion.
Second.
Mr. Conrad seconds. Discussion. Corrections, none heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to resolutions, resolution number 2026-02, a resolution authorizing the mayor to promote certain officers of the police department and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to approve, please?
I make a motion.
Ms. Mara makes a motion.
Second.
I'm sorry, do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I make a motion.
Ms. Mara makes a motion to suspend.
I will
Mr.
second.
Joyce seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Uhas, Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a resolution to adopt resolution 2026-02, please?
Make a
Aye.
motion.
Ms. Mara makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Uhas seconds. Discussion, chief?
I'll be loud. So with our legend, he's starting to wanting to slow down a little bit in the evenings and not work so many shifts. You guys all know who I'm talking about. So we brought on Daryl Smigelski about 5.5 months ago, and he comes to us with 14 years of experience. And Daryl has slowly really starting to really shine as a leader within the department and, lending assistance to officers throughout. So with our legend wanting to reduce the amount of time, he's making room for the next future of our department, which is Daryl. And we actually opened up to a panel interview, brought in a few guys that wanted to interview. Lieutenant Sergeant Lawrence all took part into the interview process, and he was the overwhelmingly choice to become our new night shift supervisor, a night sergeant finally. So he has a lot on his plate coming this way. So, but he's got a lot of experience, was a SWAT officer for Parma. He's also going to be leading our honor guard with Lieutenant Brown. So that's what we're going to be doing, some great changes. And Daryl and I have a lot of conversations off the record of where we're trying to go. So I would love council to approve that for him to become our next night shift sergeant. He brought his family with him, his mother, his aunt, his sister, and his beautiful daughters.
Welcome.
And also Joseph Christopher. He's also in the promotion in this ordinance.
Sergeant of training.
This resolution.
He's just-
Correct. It's retroactive. It's
Yep.
basically making it official
We did that last.
since we
Yep.
got a little ahead of ourselves.
Okay. Good. All right, so roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Uhas, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I have resolution 2026-03. A resolution authorizing the mayor to hire Officer Miranda Brothers as a part-time patrolman for the Timberlake Village Police Department and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved.
Mr. Joyce makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Uhas seconds. Roll call, please.
That was Hardwick.
Who was a second?
Hardwick
You
that Seconded
Okay.
that one.
No comment. Mrs. Hardwick seconded it, yes.
Okay.
We're clear on that.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2026-03, please?
Move to approve. Second.
Mr. Thompson makes a motion, Mr. Conrad seconds. Discussion?
So Miranda comes to us through our former Sergeant Krebs. They work together in Manaway. She has over 5+ years of law enforcement experience. Does a lot for the community. That's one of the things that we talked about. We're looking for. She just recently accepted a position with Eckridge Children's. And so, but she wants to be involved on the streets. That's the one experience that she does not have. One of her big claim to fame was that she did Fill the Cruiser for the community. So hence I told her that she'll be involved in a lot of the community events. So she brought her significant other, Joe, and her young son as well to be part of this afternoon, or this evening, I should say.
Okay, thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick, Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Let's do some swearing in.
Absolutely. I know they don't want to stay long. Hero, would you like to come first? And who would love to?
Just swear.
Four girls, huh? Oh, I got two. Bless your heart, my friend.
One, I'm good.
One and done.
Four girls. Hey.
Better start saving the money now.
Yeah.
I don't want my ugly mug in there, good picture.
Oh, there's fun.
Oh, I think one was.
They don't get any idea, you don't sit in the seat, just move, I'm sure.
I think the sister might have.
Wasn't even boiled. I was getting nervous at the first eight. We're all Maros. He'll be our night officer?
Light sergeant.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So he knows about the blue light, right?
Yes.
Okay. I like the blue light. Simone started that light, our legend.
It's a good thing. You want to get a group picture too with all your family? So,
Look at that.
you want to be a part of the picture?
Girl dad.
Your heart just screwed me second.
Just the two, do you have a son too?
Hey, son.
Oh, I didn't realize you were children.
Ain't no taste.
They're all married?
They are?
Already?
I've been happy.
Wow, that's a wedding a year, literally.
I got a bunch of. You take it specific.
Oh.
Was 15 months later.
Huh?
Oh, you're
He's up in the bush. My goodness.
You can keep one to sign for you.
Sing now.
one more.
And so how many grandchildren?
Well, I have two step. My son in Michigan are expecting.
Yeah. Okay. I remember you were telling me about that.
With corn, start
Yeah.
producing. Thank you.
He's just not popping off. Shoot him, he'll shoot you back.
And it's basically.
That's okay.
No, he's not leaving. Slowing down. Crazy. I guess, yeah.
Take.
Yeah, but he was only working I think Tuesday nights anyway. More. Well, he will, but he'll be a sergeant. I think he's gonna get more nighttime. Yeah.
I, Maureen. Do you solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the laws and ordinances of the Village of Timberlake, and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties as patrolman of the Village of Timberlake Police Department, State of Ohio, through my continuous In that office. So I'll make. You putting it? You wanna put it somewhere? You wanna put it down there? Okay, there you go. It's okay. It looks like you did it. Good enough. I think we're okay.
Come on.
We're good. We're not.
Yeah.
I know.
She takes a good picture.
Thank you.
Nobody wants one.
You guys are. That's nice. I'll tell
You gotta sign your life away too.
Oh, I gotta find it.
Yeah. You can keep one of the other two.
Yes, that's my big thing.
Busy as you can be, sorry.
Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
That's the one thing I love doing. Okay, well.
And you can keep the last one and then that folder's your.
All right, everybody.
Work to fill out. Just as long as you can get it back to me before like the next, 2 Mondays from now. So 2 weeks from yesterday.
Alrighty, thank
All right,
you.
thanks.
Now the boring stuff.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nancy, she turned his mic back on.
Okay, continue on with resolution number 26-04. Resolution authorizing the fiscal officer to advance $34,500 from the general fund, 1,000, the sidewalk construction fund, 4202, and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
I make a motion.
Mrs. Meyer makes a motion.
My second.
Mrs. House seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Hi.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2026-04, please?
Make a motion.
Mrs. Meyer makes a motion.
I'll
second.
Mr. Joyce seconds. Discussion.
So this is, so this 34,500 was returned at the end of 2025 for engineering fees for our sidewalk construction project. So this is just being advanced again for the fiscal year 2026. There probably will be some other adjustments throughout the year, but this is a starting point.
Was a return, a reimbursement from,
So this is engineering fees that we didn't incur yet.
Okay.
So we'll likely use them early in this year.
we have got reimbursed for
We have been reimbursed for
40%.
all of them, except for the most recent invoice. But all of the invoices from 2025 have now been reimbursed. So
Do we anticipate in getting reimbursed for further expenses?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, it'll all
Yes.
be reimbursed up to the.
it's just a
maximum
matter of
grant.
timing and that kind of thing.
Great.
So
And then the part that, the village, is responsible for it, in engineering, it might only be 10%.
engineering is only 10%.
Yeah, 10% local share, which we submitted 50%, design to Lake Tran.
And we're still waiting to hear back from Lake Trent. They're reviewing it.
They acknowledge
Yeah.
receipt. Okay. So we should
Great.
get some of that back.
Yeah.
More than what was actually expended to cover the next set, right? So try to stay ahead of it instead of behind it.
Right.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Hi.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Next resolution, 2025-05, a resolution amending the permanent appropriations for the village of Timberlake, Ohio for the year 2026 and declare an emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved.
Mr. Joyce makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Meyer seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Hi.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2026-05, please?
Motion.
Mrs. Meyer makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Thompson seconds. Discussion on this?
So there's a few changes to our appropriation. Mostly these were clerical items. There were changes after October that happened that reflect these necessary adjustments. So the first change is for our 2901 sanitary sewer fund. So we're increasing that from 112,500 to the entire balance of $142,030.04 in anticipation of an eventual memorandum of understanding with Eastlake. So those funds will be available if necessary. We're looking at decreasing the 4202 sidewalk construction fund from $1,788,298 to $1,779,843. This change is just to do with the fact that we ended up incurring or spending more of the engineering fees last year than anticipated, so we had to adjust this year's appropriation. And most of those funds, it looks like a huge number, but most of them will all be memo receipts. So in other words, the money will be coming. I mean, the village will receive the money, but not directly. So basically, ODOT will write the checks, but we still have to record those expenses on our books. And 4903 Village Hall Capital Fund, that's being decreased from 40,000 to 38,449.62 because we did end up spending some money and towards the end of 2025, so that has to be adjusted for our appropriation for this year.
Was that the pavilions?
Correct.
Okay.
Say, what'd you do to make Johnny mad, Mr. Roskis mad?
No, that was for the
Taking his money
pavilion.
off.
So, yep.
Do we get quarterly, billing cycle for Lake County Department of Utilities? So we'll get our
We get
next
the
disbursement of
reimbursements quarterly. I believe we just received one in December, so it probably won't be till
March.
March or early April. Sometimes they're a little bit delayed.
Do you have a ballpark figure?
They're usually about $6,500 a quarter. So,
By the way, this is just a typo right here on the agenda of 2025-05. Number 4, D.
Oh,
Yeah, it should be 2026, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah, because the,
The agenda's right. Or-
The
yeah. The
resolution-
actual resolution is correct.
yeah,
the
it's
agenda.
just on the agenda, that's
Yeah.
all.
Very good.
I thought I was reading it wrong and then it's like, wait a minute.
No,
No other discussion, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Okay, now the good part. Ordinance number 1-2026. An ordinance authorizing the approval and appointment of the street commissioner for the village of Timberlake, Ohio pursuant to provisions of section 735.31 of the Ohio Revised Code, setting compensation of $1 per year and declaring an emergency. So do I have any nominations for street commissioner?
I would nominate Ryan Conrad.
Do I have a second?
Absolute second.
Do I have a second? Do I have any other nominations? Any other takers? Well,
Do they take taxes out of that dollar?
Absolutely.
Yes.
all in favor of Ryan?
Aye.
Okay, so ordinance 1-2026, an ordinance authorizing the approval and appointment of Ryan Conrad as street commissioner of the village of Timberlake, Ohio pursuant to the provisions of section 735.31 of the Ohio Revised Code, setting compensation of $1 per year and declared emergency. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved.
Mr. Joyce makes a motion.
I second.
Mrs. Uhouse seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Do I have a motion adopting ordinance number 1-2026, please?
Make a motion?
Mrs. Mara makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Joyce seconds. Would you like to say anything, Mr. Street Commissioner to be again?
For your trust and faith in me. Quite a illustrious job.
Position.
It's well-paid benefit.
We'll spend it all in one place.
I think I can buy a stick of gum with it.
No, not anymore. Not even
Thanks.
candy bar.
After taxes, right?
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Mara,
Aye.
Mr. Conrad,
Abstain.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to reports, mayor's report. Just want to mention that we had the pavilions installed, the roofs on them. They were able to find a break in the weather, which we got lucky on, so they look very, very nice. So
Are any snow drifts coming off them? Cause they're metal now, or?
I
is it-
haven't seen,
Okay.
but yeah. Be curious to see. But and basically, like I mentioned earlier, though, just, with the snow, make sure we keep roads out and then just drive slow through the village. The roads do ice up quick. And, the problem is we're going to have a salt shortage this year because East Lake is running very, very low on salt. Uh, they started out with a low supply and they only got one load that I know of. And I don't know if they got any within this week because they were only down to very small pile after the weekend. So, but I've been using it sparingly on our village. So just going around, and plus it's not gonna be effective with these temperatures anyway. So and other than that, that's all I have to report. Solicitor's report. Mr. Harrison?
Well, it's a little daunting being the first time I get to say anything on the record, but I don't have much to report other than I'm catching up with everything that was handed over to me from the previous solicitor. I have been working quite closely with Mr. O'Leary with all of the chief's tickets. And have some evidence to review, but besides from that, I don't have anything of nothing major to report. To the best of my knowledge, we're not being sued. So
Very good.
It's a good day.
yeah,
Keep
I'm
it
doing my
that
job.
way. Keep
Thank
it
you.
that
Day.
way.
Okay, moving on to council, Mrs. Hardwick, Village Hall report.
I have nothing to report, really.
That was going good though. People paying. I heard that
They have
someone's
to.
not paid yet.
Well, someone's handing me their paperwork tonight,
Oh, okay.
as a matter of fact, yes.
All right, make sure you collect
Uh,
in full.
I will. I'll make sure that check doesn't bounce too.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Conrad.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Not a whole lot to report. We are approaching stage 3 deadline for our sidewalk project, which is 23rd, so Friday. Did have to do some investigation and some discussions and back and forth with our project manager at ODOT, David Mock, just to kind of dot our i's and cross our t's in terms of paperwork that's required, the fun that are federal regulations when you get federal dollars. One interesting tidbit that I learned is that, there are some trees that need to be removed in order to accommodate the sidewalk. But between October and May, and October, you can't cut down a tree because of bats. So there's a federal regulation around bats and bat habitats. So I think in talking with the mayor, talking with our engineers, talking with ODOT, I think the plan forward is we'll just have it clear and ready, shovel ready, if you will, for the engineers or for ODOT when they come out, because they weren't gonna pay for the encroachments, the majority of them anyways. It has to be something natural. So there's like 3 trees that would be deemed natural and not man-placed. A lot of fences, landscaping, rock structures, etc., that are in the right of way are deemed encroachment. So I think we're gonna put those out to bid in the coming months. And just try and have that ready, cleared out. It is much less paperwork, a lot less headache, and we'll make the bids for the construction firms when they come in a lot easier and a lot cleaner. So it's almost, saving time, money, and energy is the right path to go. So we'll put those out to bids to local companies that want to put their bids in.
Also, you can only cut down the trees between November and March.
Correct.
because- Yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So there's that little short window like in the winter. Now, that's only if you use federal funding for it. So if we do it as a village, we are not beholden to those federal regulations. It's only when you have federal funding, which the systemic safety project does come from that. So there's a lot more paperwork, a lot more headaches, a lot more documentation that's required because of federal funds. So yeah, so we'll keep working on that. I've shared with our enemies kind of what the encroachments are. I know me and the mayor drove, took a look, saw what was there. And just kind of take care of anything that to beautify it after on a case by case basis, or maybe we'll just do like other communities do and plant some type of tree along the tree lawn. Kind of have a treescape. You know, our tree canopy is slowly dwindling away as these older, bigger trees start to come down. So anything we can do to start planting those seeds for the future, I think will be nice. My dream is to have like, you know, some flowering trees that spring they flower up, right? Like a mini Washington DC and have some cherry blossoms or something, but
Before the deer eat them.
yes, correct. Well, there's not many deer. The deer get that close, they're just gonna get hit by a car, so.
Yeah, true that.
Maybe kill two
Yeah.
with one tree. I don't know how that's saying we go.
Pretty along Lake Shore.
Yeah, just line them up, but
Strip of lake.
that's my end vision. See if it comes to bear fruit. But yeah, so that's what we're working on right now. So I'll keep everyone on council apprised and having hopefully a good update next month that we're ready to go out to sale and start taking bids for construction. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Joyce.
Okay, between Christmas and New Year's, I think it was the 29th of December. We had a high wind situation and snowstorm that resulted in a couple of trees coming down. One was that fell was in front of Councilman Thompson's house, blocking the westbound side of East Shore. And thankfully not hitting anything, because if it had fallen the wrong way, it certainly would have done some damage to his home personally. But I made a couple of phone calls to tree services people that we've used in the past. And one of them happened to be local and was able to come out like right away. Within like 48 hours, he had cleared that area and really did a pretty fine job with that whole thing. I also got the other one that I contacted to call. He called back, and he's a guy that we have used here in the past. So those are two people that I'm going to be contacting to put in bids to look at removal of the obstructions as the government is calling them along the right of way on Lakeshore Boulevard. But I need to know, when I talked to the mayor and to Councilman Conrad, they identified that there were some 3 trees that had to come down and the rest that was going to be, if I remember correctly, because when we talked, I was actually in the car traveling. But I'd like to make sure that I know where those trees need to come down. Otherwise, I'm going to ask them just to give me a quote on what they would charge going from the service road coming into the brick road, coming into Lake Shore, based on the blueprints that you provided me, all the way down to Route 91 along Lakeshore Boulevard. And
Just update you, excuse me, just update you. Ryan had given the engineers a list. We had gone over the whole thing, identifying all the obstructions.
okay,
So there'll be a list. They're gonna actually incorporate that into the plans.
okay,
And when we get that set of plans, that's what you and I then will go out there. I'll go out
Alright.
there with you to identify it all, so that when you meet those tree guys, you know exactly what, you know, they'll have a set of plans also to look at.
I actually
Okay.
have the list on the copier. I just printed it for you, so you have.
Oh,
it.
terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And we'll wait until they.
We're one step ahead of you.
all right, but if I can get them actually to come out as soon as this weather breaks a little bit, to come out and take a look at it, give them an idea. Perhaps we could even get the trees down before March or before the end of March, and therefore not have
no,
a
no,
problem with the bats. I know we have another workaround, but
We still have to, we're not done with the design. We have to bid it out. We're not looking at construction till probably the end of this year.
okay,
Okay, so we've got all summer yet.
I
to
think
work.
it's July construction starts, but I'll look at the
Well,
timeline.
we still have to go through the bid.
Yeah, get through the design, let the final prints be approved, because they might decide, oh, no, you gotta go around that, you can't take that down. let's have the final sketch, signed, sealed, delivered, and then at that point, we can start to look at
Right.
companies.
Okay, my other question is, from a protocol standpoint, and maybe John, you weigh in on this. Do I convene the tree committee together? We take a look at the three proposals and we make a recommendation, or is that something that, because of the nature of it, does that fall into the sidewalk ad hoc committee that we did with the bids on the engineering?
I think once we get a set of bids, we can just have a committee meeting or a working session before a council meeting. And just,
Okay,
say that's what our topic is, and I don't know if we nearly need to say if they could come under the tree commission, tree
okay,
committee. I think that's fair.
all right. That's what we'll do.
We'll all be here anyways. We'll always all show up for the most part, right? So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
use that little bit of time before and review the bids and choose the lowest and best.
Okay,
That sound right?
So long as there aren't any specific requirements because we're not using federal dollars for that.
No, it would be out of ours. And,
Okay.
and thankfully the mayor he is an alternate for Commissioner John Pleshnik at NOACA. Talked with Ben Capel, CEO of Lake Tran. Ben Capel said just send me an invoice and we'll take care of it. So there's extra funds there or an agreement.
Okay.
It's a gentleman's agreement between Lake Tran and Village that they understand this project has unique characteristics. It's a big safety improvement for them. They also said that they will take care of the shelters. So plan is, as long as ODOT allows it, is just kind of put the pad down since they're already pouring and digging up earth, put the concrete pad down in the areas where the stops are now, make them ADA accessible with ramps and crosswalks, and I'll come back through and put down the structures as we tell them to.
Not to be a killjoy and a lawyer here, but we're gonna get that in writing, right?
Well, we'll see, because we have a grant already with them, so there's already funds via the grant. So anything additionally we would have to just, send an invoice, because he did tell us he has the authority as the CEO to spend $25,000 at a time. But you're certainly right. I would feel a lot better to have it in writing than, but he's always done good by us, but the proper way would be to have it in writing.
And who's gonna tell these bats when they get back from Florida that their house is gone?
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah,
don't think
move
they're
over there.
living-
We
they're
give you
not-
a new
they're not
one.
Hibernating in those trees out on Lake Shore.
Are they endangered bats by chance?
They say they're an endangered species.
We want them to be endangered. And the data centers, we can't have, data centers can't, they drive away endangered species, so are they endangered?
Yeah, no, there's a federal protection because they're endangered
Okay.
or I don't think they're endangered. I think they're a protected
Okay.
species.
Yeah.
And you're right. If the data center goes in, then you can cut down all the trees because the bats aren't gonna be here.
Right,
anyways.
for our eagles.
Yeah, they talk in the same frequency, right?
Or crickets or birds.
I found out we have an endangered rat, a brown rat. Did you know that? People complain about rats. We have an endangered rat here in Timberlake. I was like, I know, no comment, no comment. No comment.
Okay, Mr. Joyce, anything else? Or-
No, that's all I
That's
have.
good. You're good. Okay. Okay. This is you, House. Yes.
Oh, okay, first report on the playground. It's a little bit slow this season with the temperatures. There have been some brave families out using the hill behind the playground for sledding. But other than that, not too much activity and nothing else to report.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Mara.
Oh, well,
Yes.
I will have to say thank you for the mayor for fixing the loader. Did you fix the loader?
Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, many hours out on the roads. I know that. Everybody, please stop, if you can, whoever does, stop putting your snow in the street. Cause then he has to put it back onto your sides of the street without putting it back in your yard. So please do not push it in the islands and do not push it into the street. Otherwise, that's the only thing I have to talk about tonight.
Good.
Thank you, Mayor, for always being out there at night.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson.
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate that. I always like to mention that because the mayor does go out there. It snows. It's snowed a couple times this week when it wasn't supposed to snow. And he's always out there keeping the roads clear. it is Timberlake's responsibility to keep our roads clear, but it's not necessarily the mayor's personal duties to do that, and he does it anyway, and at this time, it's uncompensated, so we just gotta remember that saves us a lot of money. Thank you, Mayor,
He
appreciate
picked up
that.
the salt and he loads it himself and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta get those shakers open up first to dump them in there and. forget
And
it.
then I'd like to follow up on what Jerry said about the trees. Yeah, that very large tree came down in front of my house, right across the East Shore. Very large, very tall.
Just missed your car.
Yeah,
I mean,
thankfully,
like. just
thankfully
missed
no
your
one
car.
was hurt. Thankfully, it didn't go down towards my house. Thankfully, it didn't crush my car that was literally 5 feet away, maybe 4 feet. I mean, it was right there.
What?
But I just wanted to mention it because, Jerry gave you the facts, but I just wanted to emphasize what a well-oiled machine Timberlake was to take care of it, because shortly, right after it happened, we were in shock. My wife actually saw it fall out of our bay windows, and so I called the cavalry, and that's the mayor, the chief, and the tree committee chair, Mr. Joyce. And within 5 minutes, we had an officer on scene, putting cones out, offering to be helpful in any way that he could. So that was great. Forgive me, I forget the officer's name, but he did a great job. And then within 10 minutes, the mayor was out there with his probably personal chainsaw, cutting branches to make sure that people, because there's a turnaround there, we have a boulevard. So if one half is obstructed, people can't, they can't turn around, especially if there's snowbank. So mayor was out there, and he cleared a small way in the turnaround so people can get around. And then Mr. Joyce was out there within 15 minutes. And like he said, he called up some tree guys. Luckily, was able to get a hold of someone who was available right away. And 2 hours, by the time it fell down, within 2 hours, the tree was removed from the street. It was cut up nice and neatly, put in the median, and my stump that's now in my yard was flush cut, all said and done, 2 hours, start to finish. So it was pretty incredible. I appreciate everybody's help, officers, the mayor, and Jerry. Thank you very much for getting that done. And I think I was quoted by the guy, because it is technically on my yard, to stump grind was maybe $250. So what Mr. Transky did saved it. If it was around 10 stumps, some stumps are smaller than others, but still probably well over $1,000 or $2,000, not a few $100s like Brent said. But so that's very much appreciated too, because tree work is not cheap. So anyway, that's all I got.
Nice job, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just to tag on to that, the officer was absolutely terrific in terms of coning it off. He was actually out there before I even arrived. I cut through the cones in order to get up onto the trees. And then by the time the tree service guy came, which was within an hour, another tree had fallen on Wobbin and was now leaning against power cords, across the, going, I get confused as to whether or not that's north and south, but let's say for sake of argument, it was, running north on Wobbin on the east side of the street. And of course, then they had to wait for CEI to come out. By that time, the East Lake Fire was out there and they were taping off the area, as well as our officer. But there was a lot of quick response from everybody, and it was heartening to see it.
A well-oiled machine. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, there was I don't have his name, but there was a resident,
Yes,
resident
an
who showed
arborist.
up. He's an arborist. I
Yeah.
believe he worked for Willowick or Wickliffe, and he was an
Okay.
arborist for the city. And he showed up and he offered to help. And then he started chopping it with his chainsaw, and we're like, we already got it. We already got it covered by professionals, so there's no need to do that, because it's going to be, we're going to get charged the same amount anyway. So we shoot him off, but he was so willing to help. And it's just great that we're surrounded by residents who are willing to help out and do stuff like that in the frigid cold weather. I didn't want to be out there for 2 minutes. But
Oh, it was bad. The snow was blowing sideways, and if you turned a certain way, you got your ear full of snow, and it was really pretty windy and cold. I hope, I didn't see you out there. I hope you were not out there in your flip
That's
flops.
a $1 million question.
Yeah,
What are your flags on?
I checked and it wasn't.
They're in the plow when he plows, you know. He goes, "Look, the heat's on. It's nice and warm." And then he puts on his shoes before he gets out.
Okay, financial reports, monthly financial. Rasmus,
So our ending balance through December 31st is $548,946. Our monthly revenue was $46,745 versus expenditures of $61,066 for a net deficit for the month of $14,322. This excludes the return of $44,132 in advances from our sidewalk or to our sidewalk construction fund and a transfer of $20,000 from the general fund to the police car capital fund, which occurred at the end of the year. With those items included, there was a net surplus of $9,810. Expenditures were slightly below estimates for the month by about $2,000. Our income tax revenue was $27,931 net for the month versus $11,088 in December of 2024. By comparison, total December 2025 revenue was $90,877, including the return of the $44,132 advance, $46,744.58 if you exclude that, versus $22,242 in December of 2024. We ended the fiscal year with a surplus of $90,406. Please note that this included the two advances outstanding at year end, one in our playground construction fund 4201 in the amount of $25,152 and one in the sidewalk construction fund 4202 in the amount of $6,286. Other significant fund activity and miscellaneous. We spent $32,869 out of the 4201 playground construction fund. $24,652 was reimbursed by ODNR early in January. We also expended $698 out of the 2021 State Highway Fund and $6,286 out of the 4202 Sidewalk Construction Fund for engineering fees for the Lakeshore Boulevard Sidewalk Project. And $9,644 was reimbursed by the state of Ohio last month. Further, all invoices to date have been submitted to ODOT for reimbursement. We are awaiting reimbursement for invoice 6 in the amount of $6,286. That has now been reimbursed. Invoices for the NatureWorks project have been submitted to ODNR, and this was also reimbursed early in January. Additionally, we received $3,400 benefiting the 2091 Law Enforcement Trust Fund as a result of the sale of the forfeited motorcycle. And we also received our quarterly reimbursement from Lake County Department of Utilities benefiting our sanitary sewer funds in the amount of $6,531. And 8 deposit refunds totaling $800 were issued out of Fund 9901 Hall Deposit Refund Fund. Also, all of our 2025 W2s have been mailed in case you're looking for them. And I also have a brief annual report that the revised code requires. We have to basically just give a summary of the ending fund balances versus the year before. So just bear with me a moment. So we already went over the general fund. Ending fund balance for 2025 was $548,946. We ended 2024 at $458,540. Our 2011 street construction maintenance and repair fund ended at $236,268 versus $184,191 last year. 2021 state highway fund ended at $15,237 versus last year's ending balance of $23,135. Some money was spent on the sidewalk construction fund this year for engineering fees. Our 2081 drug law enforcement fund is currently at a zero balance, and that was the same at year's end last year. 2091 law enforcement trust ending balance this year is $3,400. Last year we had zero in that fund. 2151 coronavirus relief fund, that is an inactive fund, but there is still 95 cents of interest that we will have to figure out what to do with that. 2152 American Relief Plan fund is at a zero balance and was also at the end of 2024. 2271 Enforcement and Education Fund, that is a fund that receives some fines related to OVIs and other types of offenses. We ended the year at $5,113. At the end of 2024, we were at $4,899. Our 2901 Sanitary Sewer Maintenance Fund ended at $142,030. At the end of last year, it was at $124,870. 2902 Other Special Revenue Fund is a fund that receives NOPEC grants. We ended the year at $3,404. Last year, we ended at $3,679. 2903 Law Enforcement Professional Training Fund ended the year at $8,765. Last year, we ended at $2,958. 2904 One Ohio Funds National Opioid Settlement Fund, that is funds related to the state of Ohio's settlement with the various pharmaceutical companies related to opioids. We ended the year at $1,094 versus last year we had $888. Sanitary Sewer OPWC Debt Service Fund ended at $14,173.90. Last year we were at $18,207. Our 3902 Paving Improvement OPWC Debt Service Fund ended the year at $3,508. Last year we were at $3,482. Currently, there's no activity in the 3903 Police Cruiser Lease Debt Service Fund. 4201 Playground Construction Fund ended at $1,283.27. The project ended up being a little bit less than we expected, so that's why there's a balance. Last year we were at $9,015. 4202 Sidewalk Construction Fund, we ended the year at zero, just as we ended in 2024. 4901 Police Cruiser Fund is at $20,140 currently versus $55,000 at the end of 2024. 4902 Service Truck Capital Fund is at $146.42 versus $311 last year. Our Village Hall Capital Fund 4903 is currently at $38,449. Last year we were at $40,000. Unclaimed funds remains the same at $237.90. Our 9901 Hall Rental Security Deposit Refund Fund ended the year at $1,435 versus $785 last year. And the 9902 and 9903 funds both remained at the same balance, $456 and $441.44.
Thanks, John.
Welcome.
A lot of information.
That's all I have.
Good. Thank you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Brad, can I ask some questions?
Chief. Oh, sure.
You mentioned this one, so I just want to thank council and congratulate the mayor again on fifth year running of surplus expenditures year over year, right? So another $90,000 of surplus that go into our general fund and start to build that or the general fund so that we can do these projects that we've all wanted to do, you know, new beach stairs, playground construction, et cetera, et cetera. So kudos to you, mayor and council, for being fiscally conservative and responsible, good stewards of the taxpayer dollars, not overspending, always finding a deal. I think I mentioned the playground fund came in under budget, police cruiser came in under budget. So we're always coming in under budget. And that's not because we don't put in the hard work and don't have to push and try and get the best. I mean, even the tree commission's been under budget, even with the catastrophe of the year we have under your tutelage, not your fault, you don't control nature, but we continue to.
Luckily, insurance helped us.
Yes, yes, you got the saving grace of insurance, but continue to push, ask, you know, try and shake every penny out of every tree that we can when we do these projects. So I just wanted to take a job to everyone and have a strong year fiscally.
Okay. Chief Vogel, please.
Excuse me, Chief.
Oh.
I just wanted to acknowledge, Officer Kimmery. That's who it was. I just want to acknowledge him by name. Did a great job. Please give him our regards.
Oh, sure. Feedback.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
hopefully it's more a compliments than anything
well,
else.
their name's on video now. It's in perpetuity.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll try to be short, but I can't promise that, so. A couple things that we're doing and changes in there, one of our night shift guys, he's going from part-time officer down to auxiliary. He took a full-time job with SUMA, and in order to collect his pension out of the OPERS, he needs to drop down to auxiliary, so he'll stay on with us doing his three shifts a minimum of month, which is free for us, which helps us also as well. We're gonna remove a few more pieces from 883. The graphics were stripped off there. We're gonna remove the radar, our computer, and our shotgun mount. We're actually gonna pull it out. So we're gonna use it. We could possibly use it down the road. The computer is, I think, 10 to 15 years old. It's just a good spare to have just in case. Did speak with dealership where we purchased a vehicle at. They're looking about 120 days if you have to order a vehicle. Little insight also, as what he said is, if they have to do a dealer trade, you lose a lot of the government incentives. That's why we got such a good deal as we did on the cruiser. So it'd be in our best interest, if we do want to move forward, is to order it, and you're about 4 months out to get a new vehicle. Then you got another 2 months out to get it outfitted, 2 to 3 months out. So you're looking at pretty much 7 to 8 months before we see that vehicle in service. Just an FYI on that part. Our monitor was installed on Lakeshore Boulevard on yesterday. Of course, the worst day of the year to put it out there. So guess I should have brought a hat, which I didn't listen. So, but we had installed it. So tomorrow I should get some preliminary numbers of what we're catching speeders at on Lakeshore Boulevard. So it'll give us some numbers of traffic going past the vehicle, how fast they're going, and so forth. So here's an interesting number that I had today. So from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. So you want to know about the production of the Timberlake Police Department. We responded to over 3,400 calls for service, which you looked at years past, that is significantly different from what we had. So I shared something with the mayor and our council president, how compared to villages of 10 times the size of us, we're producing almost as much in our enforcement. And we actually surpassed them in OBI enforcement citations. Traffic stops, we surpassed them. So our officers are out there really getting productive. We're looking for everything out there. We're going to make sure that we keep the village as safe as possible. We want to make sure that we continue to do our due diligence. There's a lot of projects that we're working on. We're trying to have another taser course, instructor course, again, being held this year here at the hall. So once we get approval from Axon, It'll be April or May. They're saying that they'll give us approval, which gives us 2 more certificates, which is $1,600 for free. We'll get 2 more officers trained as instructors as well. We have our first range scheduled for May 4th at Lake County Range. So we're going out to Lake County as well. A lot of training that we're going to be going through. There was a revision on OBIs, so every officer will be going through that updated course. It's a 2-day course, unfortunately. So we actually jam-packed Lake County's classroom already. They called me because they offer a free course on May 18th and 19th. So every available officer that can do it will be going there as well. All of our supervisors will be going there as well. So we'll make sure that we are up to date on all the legality. We actually deployed our K-9 for the first time. Unfortunately, we didn't hit on anything good. So, but it's a first. He's also going to be going to a legal update that's going to be coming up I think in April, which is a good legal updates for a K-9 deployment and everything else. I'm actually trying to finalize with Chief Schultz from Willoughby. They're actually going to donate the cage to us so we can outfit the cruiser for a K-9 vehicle. So again, it's going to be no cost to us. The dog continues to be a freebie for us. So it's a good thing. So got a lot planned on the other side for events with the community. I shared the reward that we received of being named the Department of the Month, which, we competed against every single agency throughout the whole state. So it's kind of a big honor to get that, receive that award. On top of it, I didn't realize, but a family that actually came up with the award is actually sending us a check as well. So a lot of that we're going to use to go back to Family Fun Days to try to have a bigger event in the community that we can. So we're pushing more and more and more. They're working on the next golf outing. I know the mayor's going to pull out his old pings and he's golfing with us. So Neil, if you golf, plan on it. Jerry, I'm not sure if you're a golfer, you might have to come out there. I got Tyler also for all of us old guys. We can do it. So anybody that golfs, it's a great event. It was a good thing for our community, and it allows us to do things that we would normally not be able to do. So, we're really trying to step up our training. What Johnny said about our budget. So we have 20 officers that are in the department, and when they do 24 hours of CPT, we get that money for every single officer. So that allows us to send officers for additional training. Plus, it keeps us that buffer. So when we need equipment and everything else, we can use it for that. So there's a method to my madness behind it.
Yeah, no, I was curious about that because I know you're doing more training than
Yep.
prior. So I was wondering why would the money be hired, but yeah, that's a good explanation.
So
Very good.
it's really, you're taking advantage of the state's funds on that. So, and, we're still trying to push for more because they always say that they'll pay up to 40 hours. I'm going to try to hold them to it. I don't know whether they will or not, but if I get every officer doing 40 hours, that's a significant increase for us. And I tell the officers, the faster we get them done, the faster we get money. So if they want to go to class, I have no problem approving classes to go. And they all sign an agreement that if they leave within a year, they're going to pay the class back. So we have that all in place that they know if they're leaving, I'm not just doing it. And unfortunately, what's happening is with us becoming a better department, a lot of the guys are being poached, guys and gals are being poached by other agencies and that's the hard part that we're having is trying to make sure that we have officers out there that continue so we continue to recruit. We actually just had someone from the academy reach out to us. They'll be doing a ride along now. So we'll do ride alongs as well out there. So trying to vet those officers before they come aboard and we take a chance with them. So just going to be another big year, busy year. Looking forward to work with Neil. I know we're gonna give him a lot of work this year, and I apologize in advance. Not really. And it's a learning experience. For us, it's continued to how do we become a better agency? How do we make a bigger impact in the community, not just in Timberlake, but in all of Lake County? And it's pretty interesting because I receive notes. Messages from chiefs of police, mayors from all over the country commending us on what we're doing, that we're making that name out there throughout the country, which is pretty interesting. We get a lot of challenge coins requests from everywhere, patches, which, I'm like, man, this stuff cost us. So it's not free, but it is what it is. We're working on the next set of patches for a new batch. We will have pink patches this year. So for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, officers will be wearing that. We'll also make it available for purchase if anybody wants to purchase them. So we'll be able to make it as well that way. But we're trying to plan everything way ahead for 2026. So we're excited for 2026. I tell the officers all the time, we did halfway decent this past year. Let's get better. So, we take things seriously, and I won't divulge everything, but Neil knows we're working on something now, and we're trying to get some. I'm working with Verizon, trying to get some updated information on her. So we don't take any crime or complaint lightly. We don't. We push hard, and I'll push to the farthest extent of law. The one thing I believe in is doing the right thing no matter what, on principle. So it kind of kills me sometimes, but I'm going to fight for what's right. And I try to instill that in every single officer. So that's my report. I'll be quiet. Any questions?
I
Word
have,
from OC
I have,
just yet?
What's that?
Any word from OC just yet on Edward Byrne or
I
that?
bug them every single day, probably every week, actually, since every day. So they still haven't were awarded. And I actually I actually got the guy's cell phone, which he should never gave me. So I call him all the time. I always tell him, I said, if you give us some money, I'll stop calling you, at least this year.
Yeah.
I can't make any promises for next year. So the grants we still have out there, which, if they come out, that we have, I think, $170,000 in grants that I typed for, which include the outfitting of 2 vehicles, which would be the current 884, and then our next 883, which would be the $34,000 towards outfitting the vehicles. I actually even typed for radios. I typed for dash cams. I typed for everything. So whatever they give out, if they would reward us anything, that'd be great.
The vehicle in there too?
No, not a vehicle. You can do the equipment, not the vehicle. But we type for new computers for all the police department, as well as new MDTs, new tasers as well, because eventually that's something that we're going to have to look at, because our tasers are 12 years old. They're really not as effective as the current ones on the market. I did get a proposal for them, and of course, I'm always negotiating every aspect that I can do. We got 20 tasers donated to us last year from another agency, and I actually got the $2,000 on a trade-in if we trade them in. So it's always haggling to try to get the best for our department. So hopefully those grants, something of that grant comes through. I'd be happy with any portion of it. Really be happy with outfitting 1 vehicle, and I'll leave the rest alone, because it allows us to finish that next vehicle off, and really, with all additional revenues that we bring in, help pay off the vehicle very quickly. So, and then it sets the village up for future, versus having 2 cars with 112,000 miles on her. One goes down, you're in trouble. So, our new one only has, I think it just turned 4,000 miles today. So if another one comes in there, we're going to have 2 newer cars with low miles. And as long as they're rotated properly, then, we keep track on all this. I installed, doing vehicle inspections, and they actually have to turn on their body cameras when they do a vehicle inspection. So there's no surprise, there's a dent in the back door. We do a lot of paper trails out there for us, to make sure we're doing everything properly. We're really trying to get a better involvement as supervisors as well, and getting involved in the officers and bringing those officers to the next level. So.
just
Other
one,
question?
one suggestion, not really a question. I was at the Mission Barbecue the other day and saw all the patches up on the wall, and Mentor has a canine patch.
Working on it.
Okay.
We're working on business cards as well. The cards that show Timberlake with Luca's face on there and everything else. Luca tried to scare Johnny yesterday, so kind of ran in his office. I'm like, whoops, just don't run, Johnny, just don't run. We're good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I was showing where the fire extinguishers are, because they're going to be inspected on Friday. So Luca, of course, was having fun running around everywhere in here. So it's definitely, I think, we're trying to move. I'm trying to continue to improve. So making strides every day. Some days we have setbacks, but it's picking up our pants and keep going forward. And again, if it wasn't for the support of the council and the village, we still love our coffee maker. It gets used all the time. So without that coffee maker, we'd be a lot more crabby, especially me. So it's a nice blessing to have all that stuff. But again, we can't thank council enough for the support, the thanks on the officers, recognizing the officers. because it means a lot to them, and, they just want to be part of the community and they love it. So, and that's one of the things that I always look for in the new officers is, what's your community involvement? And when brother said, I said, hey, we want to do something like that. We didn't get a chance this year with Shop with a Cop. We're doing it next year. It's on the guaranteed we're getting it done, whether we do it by ourselves or we do it with everybody else. We're going to be involved in there. So suggestions, let's go. And anything from council too. We'd love to be there. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Okay, zoning and property maintenance report. What I have here from Gary Gray are totals for the whole year. These are all the total permits. There were 16 roof permits, 6 interior remodeling permits, 5 for fences, 3 windows, 1 deck, 2 garage, 3 sidewalk, or 3 for sewers, 3 for driveways. There were 36 contractor reservations, 2 shed permits, and there were a total of 41 work permits and 36 contractor registrations. So that was a total for 2025.
That was just December. I was like, that's a busy December.
Yeah.
Well, that was for all of
All year.
2025.
That makes
Actually,
sense.
there was nothing for,
Yeah.
nothing going on this time of year. So
Sure.
a little too cold. Okay, next purchases and approvals. Do I have a motion to approve the December 2025 financial reports, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Conroy makes a motion, Mr. Thompson seconds. Discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce,
Aye.
Mrs. Uhas,
Aye.
Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Murrah, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, open up the public comment again, please. Compliments only.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Compliments only.
You
Say what you want.
know I love you guys. So what exactly does the street commissioner do?
It's here and looks pretty. What do you mean?
They
Aside
keep
from
the-
that,
They solve everyone's driveway.
all right.
I got in charge of the upkeep and maintenance of the road, so keeping up on them if there's an issue, let service know. If there needs to be some cold patch, let service know or hire a contractor to come repair them.
Oh, okay.
I think it's required by ORC, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's a codified position. That is required for the village. But to be honest, I mean, it's nothing other than the day-to-day of upkeep and maintenance of the streets, and since the sewers are
That everybody does anyhow.
correct.
Yeah, okay.
There
Okay.
has to be a position.
But he gets paid $1.
You notice how no one else wanted to do it, right?
But we know that you're the best for that, so, yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I do have another question, though. So now that I'm not really up on my radar, but so we have our radar now? Is it programmed to take pictures and stuff like that?
It doesn't take pictures right now. All it does is it's monitoring the traffic. So it captures how many vehicles are passing that area, what the speed of the vehicles are.
Okay,
The data collection phase, much like the opposite side where the speed signs at, same thing. It's just collecting data, tracking X amount of cars are going X amount of speed.
okay. Are we going to move that into the village, inside the village?
More than likely not.
Okay,
Well, not to quibble, but it's already inside the village, but you mean inside to the resident?
Correct.
yes,
It's just
Yeah.
gonna stay on Lake Shore. It's permanently mounted to a pole on Lake Shore.
okay.
But the speed sign, and you probably noticed this as you walk your dogs quite a bit, or dog quite a bit. The other one's mobile, so we can move it. We just put it back out there because we had it here on Chow and Dawson for a while. Wanted to get it back out there as school came back from winter break, right? Just to monitor speed, but I think we could potentially move that around again if we need to, where there's an area of concern.
Right, we have a speed sign. It's not photo. It just monitors the speed. And that's on a dolly that we can put inside the village. And what we do is we put that around last year a little bit. I moved it because some residents were complaining that the cars were going too fast, not stopping. So what we're doing is we're putting that strategically in areas so to slow people down, to get them more aware that they need to slow down in those areas. So we're using it not to trap people or anything, it's just to monitor and then to slow people down so that they realize, they've got to go
They're
slow
going
down.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and again, we have it on Lake Shore because what we did, we had that on there all last year, basically to monitor along Lake Shore to see what the traffic pattern was. And we did notice that there are quite a few speeders that are on Lake Shore going excessive. I mean, we're talking over 10 miles over. So that's another thing. I mean, we're talking, it's already 35 miles an hour, which is in the residential area, but when they're going 45 to 50, that's where it's an issue. We need to just, and mainly the speed signs are slowing the people down. So they see that sign, they see their speed, and it does slow them down. Again, the whole premise is this is safety. We already had an accident where a resident, they backed out onto Lakeshore and they got T-boned and just spun all the way around and got thrown right off. Car was coming so fast. And again, it's just to slow people down because we can't have those kind of accidents happen.
So are we going to move that deeper into the village now?
Which,
Ever? Or,
The mobile one, the speed sign that flashes your speed to slow down, yeah, it'll come back. When peak season hits, we'll probably bring it back in here so that, a lot of good spots by the playground, so people aren't flying past the playground for the kids. Or here, or if people have an area of concern of high speed or high throughput of traffic, and people aren't slowing down when they come in the village, then we could certainly move it.
okay. All right, good. All right, I was afraid it was going to stay out there always now. And I thought,
No.
oh, please. Okay.
oh no, like I said, we're gonna put it, the mobile one, we're gonna put again in the village when the weather breaks. We have it now because of the weather also. It's hard to move around with the snow piles and everything else. So as soon as the weather breaks, we're gonna put that back out in the village again in strategic areas to make sure people are slow. Because we also get complaints on East Shore. People just fly down East Shore,
And they do.
and they do. So that again, we'll be putting that again around throughout the summer. We just keep moving it around month to month. I like to keep it moving around each month so that we have it in different areas. And then again, that also we can track. We can tell exactly how many speeders are going fast and how many are not. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's numbered for us.
Yeah, and I can
Yeah.
take that, run the data, give it to the chief and say, hey, 5 to 6, you got a lot of people going excessively fast on East Shore. Maybe have an officer, monitor it. So it's kind of using that data and that real-time speed data to help our police force, be in the right area at the right time, instead
Yeah.
of just guessing.
Okay, good. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. Anyone else want to bring anything up before we make a motion to adjourn? Unheard. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I make a motion?
Second.
30 seconds, roll call, please.
Mr. Joyce, Mrs. Ulas, Mrs. Hardwick,
Aye.
Mrs. Murrah, Mr. Conrad,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned. Our next regular council meeting will be Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 at 6:30 PM.
Feels like crazy.
When is your?
Monday.
Oh, pardon me?